Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out to the 19. Before we get started, if you haven't done so yet, smash that like button. It helps tremendously. I do appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and let's dig in. Look, grab your coffee, your energy drink, protein shake, herbal tea, whatever it may be. We got a hot topic. We're going to dive in and do a little roasting of Time magazine because they just dropped their 2025 list of the 100 most influential people. And guess what? That is correct. You are correct. Caitlin Clark. Yes, the Caitlin Clark. The woman who's basically carrying women's basketball on her back is nowhere to be found. She is not on the list. However, as we see here, I'll scroll up a minute for you. Here we go. Breanna, Stewart, and Napheesa Collier are on the list. That's right. They made the cut. I'm sorry, what? Did I miss the memo? We're a 3-on-3 league in a gym smaller than my high school, draws more clout than a global sports phenomenon. Influential, we're talking, right? Oh man, buckle up. We're going to unpack this nonsense, why it is absurd, why Caitlin Clark is the most influential athlete since Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. Let's dig in. Now, before I even go in, I just got to point out, before I forget, because you can see I have that highlighted. This is one of the dumbest sentences I think I've ever read. The launch of Unrivaled will go down in history as a pivotal moment for continuing the tidal wave of momentum in women's sports. That is truly one of the most absurd sentences I have ever read, but we'll get into all that. Also, I want to, before we dig in too much, I want to play Colin Cowherd on this because, hey, props, I go after the media a lot and with well-deserved reason. But he had some things to say that I think kind of go against the typical WNBA sports media grain. So let's listen to this and we'll dig in.
Breanna Stewart, Napheesa Collier. Colin, what makes someone worthy of a times 100?
How is
list?
Caitlin Clark not in this?
That's a joke.
I mean, the fact that
Paige Becker should be in this.
Caitlin Clark took the WNBA.
Okay, that's absurd, buddy. I just had to stop it there. Then I'll let it roll. But Paige Becker should absolutely not be on the 100 most influential list. That is one of that you can write for Time magazine.
And they set all-time ratings records.
Mm-hmm.
If Caitlin Clark's not in this, the list is nonsense. Who did the list? Time magazine?
Yeah.
And there's no Caitlin Clark?
No, I don't think so.
That's idiotic. That's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I think Caitlin Clark is one of the most influential athletes on the planet right now. She's going firmly up.
In the history of American sports. Could I not argue?
Serena's probably.
Well, no, I'm talking about because women's tennis was popular when Billie Jean King,
Sure.
Chris Everett, Steffi Graf, Martina Navratilova. If you talk about league-changing athletes in America, Tiger in golf.
Yeah. Phelps.
Michael Jordan in basketball.
A league changing. That's, yeah.
Caitlin Clark. Tiger changed golf ratings.
Yeah.
Okay, Michael changed NBA rating. NFL players, no, it's not just about ratings, but literally the WNBA
was a non-existent league.
It was being subsidized by the NBA. They were going to small arenas. They flew on commercial flights. Mm-hmm. Time magazine, if you don't have Caitlin Clark, and maybe she is, you have the list.
Yeah, it's not on here.
Okay, that's just dumb. That's a dumb media list. Dumb.
Yep.
Don't know what they're doing. They're trying to. I mean, I don't even know. That's their first name. I mean, again, I love Jalen Hurts, but
Caitlin Clark.
You gotta be kidding me.
He is not wrong. And by the way, that started out, I didn't want to waste your time, even though it's huge to me. Yes, Jalen Hurts is on that list, and that's why Cowherd mentioned him there, if you were wondering. But yeah, I mean, hey, Colin's got it right. I mean, this is absolutely absurd by Time magazine. It's head scratching. I would like to know who at Time was involved in this decision, because there's no way that Caitlin Clark didn't come up. And there's no way that people who know what they're doing got together and thought, you know what? We have to put Napheesa Collier and Breanna Stewart on this list of 100 most influential people, not athletes, people, because they've influenced, well, nothing. Yeah, they founded Unrivaled, a 3v3 basketball league. And hey, I'm all for new ventures, good for them. But let's be real, they got a lot of virtue signal money. They were like, yeah, women's sports, we're on board. But this Unrivaled's opening night in 2025, 364,000 viewers, and that was it. That was across TNT and True TV, and that was it. It went downhill from there. That was the damn high. It plummeted from there. In fact, sometimes it got under 100,000. I think it ended up being average all together about 200,000. More games under 200,000. I'd like to see the mean because I believe more games were under 200,000. That 364, and then I think they did well in the 1v1 final with like 260 something. That kind of pulled it up, but my local high school football game probably gets more eyes on their live stream. Don't even get me started on Texas high school football, which probably crushes this. Friday Night Lights was a hit movie and TV show with good reason. Y'all hear that, or it was just me? That was a massive truck gone stumbling, bumbling in the background. Anyway, continuing, I was digressing into a little high school football. Anyway, meanwhile, Caitlin Clark, WNBA games 2024, as we know, averaging almost 1.2 million. The regular season was the most watched in 24 years, record attendance numbers. Don't tell me that's just the league shining, right? Oh, this rookie class, Angel Reese. Nah, man. As one ex-user put it, Caitlin Clark had us in a chokehold and we wanted to see her ball. Yeah, that sounds about right. Time, you're telling me the founders of a league that barely cracked 200,000 viewers, more influential than the woman who's got the sports world buzzing, the woman who has everyone paying attention to everything she does, whether she's playing golf with Nelly Corda or simply sitting in a car with a favorite drink or sitting at a basketball game scrolling through her phone and clips of that get hundreds of thousands of views. I mean, come on, this is like saying my first film effort deserved an Oscar over Spielberg. This is wild. Facts do not lie, Time magazine. Do we go back to The Economist from Indiana University? Columbus calculated that Clark generated 36 million in economic impact for Indianapolis alone in 2024, or what was it, something like 27% of the WNBA's entire economic activity. She was a quarter of the WNBA's entire economic activity for 2024. That is not just influence. That is a one-woman economic stimulus package. Meanwhile, Unrivaled's gym might have been half empty and it only held 47 people to begin with. Man, this time list, I'm telling you, it's starting to feel like it's curated by someone who has never watched sports. And they were like, well, we don't want to make this about sports. We don't make this about Caitlin Clark because she's got those fans. And she doesn't tan very well, and we can't have it. See, they could throw in Breanna Stewart because she's accepted, and plus they added Napheesa Collier. I mean, Caitlin Clark, absolutely in a league of her own. The movie was great, by the way. The reimagining sucked. And that's my point. It's not just about basketball, right? Because we're talking about influential. It's about culture, too. And Caitlin Clark is a cultural phenomenon. WNBA on life support for its entire existence, propped up by tens of millions, really hundreds of millions when you go with all of it, per season about 10. Most people, NBA subsidies, sorry, I didn't finish my thought. Most people couldn't name a single player or team, even in their own city. And here we go, enter Caitlin Clark in 2024, and boom, bam, she is the spark that lit the fuse. Hell, she's the fuse, the firecracker, and the whole damn fireworks package. She didn't just play. She transformed the game into must-watch TV. Her rookie season, we know about all the numbers, the 62 records, the assist record with 317, the individual assist record with 19, more three-pointers than any rookie in league history. And I think she was like, what, one or two off of the league record, not just the rookie record, the triple doubles, and on and on. And by the way, she was named Time's Athlete of the Year in 2024. So what happened, Time? What happened? Did you lose her number? Did she not call you back? Are you mad because she didn't want to date you? Is that what's going on here? Because we know, and I just mentioned some of the reasons, Clark's influence goes way beyond the basketball court. She is news everywhere she goes. The Pro-Am golf tournament with Nelly Porter that I mentioned. Suddenly, golf fans are tweeting about her swing. Shows up at the Masters in 2025 as a fan. The internet explodes. She gets interviewed. That does, I don't even know how many views. Look, it is Caitlin's world, and we're all just living in it. The woman simply has the Midas touch. Every single thing she does turns to headlines and money. Speaking of touch and money, what is she pulling in? 6 figures for short speaking gigs? Is it 6 figures for half an hour, something like that? Rubbing shoulders with the likes of Goldman Sachs execs. They're listening to her. Goldman Sachs. If Wall Street's taking notes, she's moving the needle. Sorry, that is an insult. She is the needle. And we can compare that to Collier and Stewart's Unrivaled. I mean, bless their little hearts for trying. They knew when to strike. They knew they were going to get that virtue signal money, thanks to Caitlin Clark. But under 200,000 viewers, that is not influence. It's a Tuesday night rerun of a cooking show, a bad cooking show, my cooking show. Clark's out here filling arenas. By the way, what did she draw in that outdoor game? 55,000 people when they played basketball in a football stadium. Unrivaled's playing the crowds that look like they got lost on the way to their Zumba class. No, actually, that's not true. None of them look like they exercise. Oh, no shades, Shiska goddesses, but numbers don't lie. Now I know some of you are like, well, comparing Caitlin Clark to Michael Jordan to Tiger Woods, really? That's a little bold. Fine, fair enough. MJ made the NBA a global brand in the 80s and 90s. Tiger turned golf into a cultural juggernaut in the 2000s. Caitlin Clark is simply doing that for women's basketball right now. Clay Travis nailed it when he said, I'm not sure there's any precedent in team sports for Caitlin Clark. No one else moves the needle like this. Man is right. The WNBA did not just get popular in 2024, it exploded because of Clark. The 2025 WNBA draft ratings, the one where they want to ignore 2024 that did almost 1.5 million, it did that because of the Caitlin Clark effect. Those were the people tuning in that made it better than 2023. Her games led the league in attendance home and away. Someone I saw posted on Twitter, on X, Caitlin is a more influential sports star than Jalen Hurts for what she did for the WNBA. That is true. I mean, I think Jalen deserves to be on there, but that is true. No, it's not. It's a lie, of course. Of course it's a lie. No, it is true. But I'm going to say it's a lie because I'm a diehard lifelong Eagles fan. Sorry about that, Caitlin Clark. You might get there. But look, let's back it up. Well, like Colin mentioned Serena, which I was going to mention too, right? A legend, no question. Women's tennis, like you said, was already a big deal before her, even going back to the 70s. Billie Jean King, Martina Navratilova, Chrissy Evert, Steffi Graf, Monica Seles. The WNBA was a niche league struggling to survive. In fact, no, that's not even fair. It would not have survived if not for the NBA. Clark didn't just elevate it, she made it a household name, right? Simone Biles, huge. But women's gymnastics, especially come Olympics time, huge in America, right? Even the young tykes know about Mary Lou Retton and Kerri Strug, legends. And unlike MJ or Tiger, she's doing this in a team. I shouldn't say that. How should I put this? Unlike Tiger, I mean, this is a team sport where one player is not unlike MJ. It's like MJ. Sorry about that. I got confused. Team sport where one player rarely shifts the entire league's trajectory. That is absolutely insane. And to be fair, I think Caitlin is, when you look at where the WNBA was before Caitlin and where the NBA was before Jordan, I would actually say Caitlin's had more of an impact so far. Right? She's got hoop fanatics, casual fans, non-sports folks glued to their screens. Right? I mean, this is absolutely insane. So why did Time snub? There we go. Clark, great question. To me, it's another sign that legacy media out of touch. They have a narrative. They're going to stick with it. That's all that they know. We can go back to the Washington Mystics co-owner Sheila Johnson complaining that Time should have put the whole WNBA on the cover instead of Clark for her athlete of the year. The Mystics, by the way, got 31% of their home attendance last season from games against Clark's Fever. I mean, that's what they had 2 games. 2 out of 20 were against Clark, 2 of 20 home games, and they got 31% of their attendance. You're welcome, by the way, Sheila. Must be nice to have married a man successful financially. Uh, but yeah, Time's decision to pick Collier and Stewart over Clark, it feels like another desperate attempt to seem inclusive while ignoring the obvious star power. Let's be real. Legacy media like Time, struggling, going downhill, laying off staff, losing readers, chasing clicks with outdated narratives. And that's where we come in, folks. Thanks to all of you who tune in. We're the ones calling it like it is. Caitlin Clark is a phenom, and she has changed the WNBA completely. We're not beholden to corporate agendas or virtue signal. We are here to give you the truth. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent who's rewriting the script. And if Time can't see that, maybe they need to borrow my glasses. I got new ones today. Well, they're sunglasses, though. $15. I used to be one of those crazy people who'd spend like $100 on sunglasses and then lose or break them within a week. Anyway, maybe Time could sell itself for $1 like Newsweek did. Anyway, we've got to wrap this up. Look, Caitlin Clark isn't just an athlete, she's a cultural force. She is a twister. She's an F5 not even Joe or Kate could tame, driving millions in economic impact, shattering viewership records, making headlines whether she is on the court, the golf course, or just chilling at the Masters while watching the CBS Sports podcast on her phone. Sorry, Caitlin, I know I wasn't supposed to let that slip. They won't believe me anyway. But man, Collier and Stewart are, well, I was going to say they're great players, but I can't bring myself to say Stewart's a great player because, Aaliyah Edwards, 12-0. Anyway, their unrivaled league simply is not moving the needle. There's nothing influential about it. They don't have influence. Time magazine snub, absolute joke. But hey, it's their loss, right? Caitlin Clark is the most influential athlete since MJ and Tiger, and she is just getting started on her journey. What do y'all think? Did Time drop the ball? Is Clark the GOAT of influence at this point? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you checking out this video. This got insanely long. I really apologize for that. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you later.